In the annals of true crime, few stories are as chilling and confounding as the sudden death of Mary Yoder. What transpired to turn a day at a thriving chiropractic clinic into a scene of a criminal investigation? How could a beloved health practitioner's life end in such a tragic and mysterious manner? These questions lay at the heart of a case that would test the limits of forensic science, challenge investigators, and grip a community with the harrowing reality of a crime hidden in plain sight. The narrative of July 21, 2015, starts as an unremarkable day in the life of Mary Yoder and her family-owned chiropractic clinic. The morning sun rose over the well-regarded establishment, a beacon of health and wellness that Mary and her husband, Bill, had nurtured for over 30 years. Mary's day began in the usual manner, greeting her first patient at around 8 a.m. with the warmth and professionalism she was known for. The clinic was bustling, a typical day filled with appointments, and the quiet hum of a business running smoothly. Midday approached, and Mary, adhering to her routine, planned to visit her mother for lunch, a small but meaningful break in her busy schedule. Upon arriving at her mother's house, she discovered that her mother had already eaten, a minor deviation from the day's plan but one that Mary took in stride. Deciding not to disrupt her day further, Mary returned to the clinic. Lunchtime offered a moment for a brief pause, and she opted for a protein shake, a choice in line with her commitment to health and nutrition. The shake was more than a meal. It was a reflection of Mary's lifestyle, one deeply rooted in the belief of nourishing the body naturally. This seemingly innocuous decision, however, marked a pivotal moment in the day, a turning point that would later be scrutinized in the search for answers. As the afternoon waned into evening, Mary's health took a dramatic turn. The symptoms were sudden and severe, compelling her to contact Bill with a sense of urgency that was uncharacteristic of her typically resilient demeanor. Her message was clear: she was too ill to consider dinner, an alarming development for a woman whose life was a testament to health and vitality. The clinic closed, the sun set, and Mary left work early, her condition worsening. The onset of vomiting and diarrhea was relentless, leaving her bewildered and searching for an explanation. Despite the severity of her symptoms, Mary tried to remain calm, hoping rest would bring relief. But as night enveloped her home, her situation grew dire, setting the stage for an emergency that would unfold in the early hours of the following day. As dawn broke on July 22, 2015, the situation within the Yoder household had taken a grave turn. The night had brought no relief. Instead, her symptoms intensified, plunging her into a state of distress that neither she nor her husband, Bill, could have anticipated. Bill Yoder, confronted with his wife's alarming state, made the immediate decision to rush her to St. Luke's Hospital. The urgency of the moment was palpable. Mary, who had dedicated her life to understanding and nurturing health, was now in its precarious grip, her condition a stark contrast to the vibrant life she led. The drive to the hospital was fraught with concern, each mile covered overshadowed by the growing fear of the unknown. Upon arrival, the hospital's emergency team sprang into action, their efforts aimed at stabilizing Mary and uncovering the cause of her sudden illness. The battery of tests that ensued was exhaustive, spanning the gamut from routine blood work to more specialized diagnostics, all in the hope of finding a clue to her ailment. Yet, despite the advanced technology and expertise at their disposal, the medical team found themselves at a standstill, with each test returning inconclusive, leaving more questions than answers in their wake. As the hours ticked by, Mary's condition veered into critical territory. Her body, once a vessel of health, was now betraying her, with each passing moment edging her closer to the brink. One that reached its zenith when Mary suffered cardiac arrest. The scenes that followed were a maelstrom of activity, as the medical team deployed every tool at their disposal, including multiple resuscitations with the defibrillator, in a desperate bid to save her. Despite their valiant efforts, the battle was lost. On July 23, merely 36 hours after the onset of her symptoms, Mary Yoder's fight came to an end. In the wake of Mary Yoder's untimely death, the medical community and her family sought answers, hoping to uncover the cause of her rapid decline. The initial autopsy, conducted with meticulous care, aimed to shed light on the mystery. However, the findings only deepened the enigma, as the pathologist encountered cellular anomalies that defied immediate explanation. The cells of Mary's organs exhibited signs of self-destruction, a clue that hinted at something insidious yet elusive. Faced with these perplexing results, the coroner initiated a series of tests targeting a range of potential toxins, from heavy metals to more common poisons like arsenic and cyanides. The anticipation for these results was palpable, as each test held the potential to unveil the agent responsible for Mary's sudden demise. Yet, as each analysis returned negative, the mystery only compounded, leaving the medical team grappling with more questions than answers. The turning point came with the decision to consult with Upstate Poison Control, an action born out of the growing realization that Mary's death was not due to natural causes. The symptoms and timeline of Mary's illness, when viewed through the lens of toxicological pathology, began to paint a picture reminiscent of colchicine poisoning, a rare and unexpected diagnosis. Colchicine, a medication known for its use in treating gout, became the focal point of a renewed investigative effort. Its effects, which mirrored the harrowing symptoms Mary experienced, provided a crucial link in the chain of evidence. Armed with this new hypothesis, the coroner dispatched Mary's last vial of blood for specialized testing, a decision fraught with the weight of finality, as this sample represented the last opportunity to confirm or refute the suspicions of colchicine poisoning. The results of this test, arriving 2 months after Mary's passing, confirmed the unthinkable. Mary Yoder had died from colchicine toxicity. This revelation, while providing a semblance of closure regarding the cause of death, opened a new, more daunting chapter of inquiry. The confirmation of colchicine poisoning as the cause of Mary Yoder's death shifted the narrative from a medical anomaly to a deliberate act of malice, propelling the case into the realm of criminal investigation. The revelation that someone had intentionally introduced the toxin into Mary's system cast a pall of suspicion over those closest to her, igniting a complex probe into the personal and professional circles she inhabited. The initial phase of the investigation focused inward, examining the dynamics within the Yoder family and their chiropractic clinic. Mary's husband Bill, and their children, including their youngest son Adam, were investigated, not out of malice but necessity, as the investigators sought to understand the relationships and interactions that defined Mary's life. The clinic itself, a cornerstone of the Yoders' lives and the community, became a focal point, its routines and records combed for any clue that might shed light on the source of the colchicine. Suspicion inevitably veered towards Bill Yoder, given the often cited adage in criminal investigations that intimates are frequently implicated in such cases. Bill's activities and whereabouts, particularly on July 22, the day following Mary's initial symptoms, underwent rigorous examination. The fact that he was absent from the clinic on this critical day raised eyebrows, necessitating a deeper dive into his alibi and interactions during this period. The investigative lens also scrutinized the clinic staff, notably Caitlin Conley, the office manager, whose proximity to the Yoder family and the clinic's operations placed her within the sphere of suspicion. Conley's relationship with Adam Yoder, hinting at undercurrents of personal dynamics that could potentially motive a heinous act. As the investigation expanded, the community's perception of the Yoder family shifted from one of respect and admiration to one tinged with whispers of dark possibilities. The police's methodical approach, characterized by interviews, evidence collection, and forensic analysis, sought to penetrate the veil of normalcy that had once defined the Yoders' existence. Each step forward in the investigation unearthed more questions, weaving a tangled web of motives, opportunities, and secrets that challenged the investigators to discern the truth amidst a myriad of possibilities. As the investigation into Mary Yoder's death deepened, a new and unexpected element emerged, casting long shadows and redirecting the focus of the inquiry. In November 2016, 4 months after Mary's tragic demise, 2 anonymous letters arrived, one at the medical examiner's office and the other at the Oneida County Sheriff's Department. These letters, cryptic yet accusatory in nature, pointed unwaveringly at a single individual, Adam Yoder, Mary's youngest son. The letters, typed with a cold detachment, claimed with unnerving certainty that Adam was responsible for his mother's death. They detailed knowledge of the poison used and even provided a chilling directive to the investigators, suggesting they would find the incriminating evidence in Adam's possession, specifically within his Jeep. The decision to bring Adam in for questioning marked a pivotal moment in the investigation. Confronted with the allegations, Adam's reaction was one of disbelief and distress, a son grappling with the weight of suspicion in the shadow of immense personal loss. The search of his Jeep, conducted with meticulous care, yielded a discovery that seemed to lend credence to the anonymous claims: a bottle of colchicine, hidden away, just as the letters had alleged. This discovery, however, was not the damning evidence it first appeared to be. Adam's steadfast denials, coupled with the inconsistencies in the timeline and lack of motive, introduced a complex layer of doubt. The letters, once seen as a beacon of truth, now appeared as potentially manipulative tools, casting aspersions and steering the investigation down a precarious path. The discovery of the colchicine bottle in Adam Yoder's vehicle, as foretold by the anonymous letters, initially seemed to be a breakthrough in the investigation. However, the case took an unexpected turn as the focus shifted from Adam to an unlikely suspect, Caitlin Conley, the Yoder family's trusted office manager and Adam's intermittent romantic partner. This shift was propelled by a combination of forensic evidence, digital footprints, and Conley's own actions and statements, which, when pieced together, painted a complex picture of potential motive and opportunity. The investigation revealed that the email address used to order the colchicine was intricately linked to Conley, not Adam. This connection was established through digital forensics, which traced the email account's activity back to devices and locations closely associated with Conley. This stark revelation was compounded by the analysis of the anonymous letters, which, upon closer inspection, bore hallmarks that pointed towards Conley's involvement. The specific knowledge of the colchicine's whereabouts and the detailed instructions on where to find it suggested a level of involvement that went beyond mere acquaintance with the case details. Conley's behavior and interactions with law enforcement further fueled suspicion. Her demeanor during questioning, the inconsistencies in her account, and her reactions to the evidence presented against her raised red flags. The situation escalated when forensic analysis confirmed that the DNA found on the colchicine bottle matched Conley's, a piece of evidence that was difficult to dispute and positioned her firmly as the prime suspect in the case. With Caitlin Conley now at the center of the investigation, the case proceeded to trial, marking a new phase in the quest for justice for Mary Yoder. The courtroom became the arena where the intricate details of the case were laid bare, scrutinized by the legal system in the pursuit of truth. The prosecution presented a compelling narrative, weaving together the forensic evidence, digital traces, and Conley's inconsistent statements to portray her as the architect of a meticulously planned crime. The presence of Mary Yoder's DNA on the colchicine bottle, coupled with the digital footprint linking Conley to the purchase of the toxin, formed the cornerstone of their argument. The anonymous letters, once a mysterious element of the case, were now presented as a calculated attempt by Conley to mislead the investigation and cast suspicion on Adam Yoder. Conley's defense team, faced with the weight of the evidence, embarked on a strategy that sought to introduce doubt about her involvement and motive. They scrutinized the forensic evidence, questioning its integrity and the conclusions drawn from it. The defense also explored alternative theories for Mary Yoder's poisoning, suggesting the possibility of accidental contamination or other individuals who might have had a motive. The trial was characterized by emotional testimonies, expert witnesses, and the meticulous examination of evidence. Both sides presented their narratives, each arguing fervently for their interpretation of the facts. The jury, tasked with untangling this web of evidence and argumentation, faced the monumental responsibility of determining Conley's guilt or innocence based on the evidence presented. As the trial progressed, the community and the Yoder family watched closely, their need for closure intertwined with the broader implications of the case. The courtroom became a microcosm of the larger societal quest for justice, reflecting the complexities of the legal process and the challenges of discerning truth amidst a sea of evidence and emotion. The conclusion of Caitlin Conley's trial brought a mixture of relief and lingering sadness as the judge handed down the verdict. Conley, found guilty in the poisoning death of Mary Yoder, was sentenced to 23 years in prison, a decision that underscored the seriousness of the crime and its profound impact on the Yoder family and the local community. The sentencing phase marked the culmination of a legal process that had gripped the public's attention, highlighting the judicial system's role in addressing such grave offenses and ensuring accountability. As the gavel fell, the case that had unfolded with numerous twists and turns reached its legal resolution, leaving behind a trail of questions about trust, betrayal, and the search for justice amidst tragedy. Thank you for joining us in uncovering this complex story. If you found this case intriguing, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your engagement helps us bring more true crime stories to light.